Hey Lancers, it's Paige from the Office of Alumni and Career Services at Longwood University. Today I'm chatting with Emily Connor, a 2012 grad, to talk about her experiences teaching English in Weihai, China. Hey Emily, how are you?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, I know, it's morning here.
Yep, it's exactly the same time, just night here.
That's crazy. So are you about to go to bed? Because it's about 10 a.m. here.
I stay up pretty late and I just got back from a movie and shopping, so not really.
Very cool. We just started our day here in Farmville. So what is life like in China? What was the transition from Farmville to China like?
Life in China is amazing. It was definitely different than the perception that I had of it. I did a lot of research on the city that I am in right now, and it's proven to be one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'm really glad I did a lot of research because it's a wonderful city. It's very clean. There's mountains. There's the ocean is right here. We're right on the coast, and it's a great city to live in. There wasn't too much culture shock. It's a new city. There's a lot of young people here, and there's a lot of stuff to do. So it wasn't too much of a transition for me. Before that, I worked in the Outer Banks for about 2.5 years. I worked at numerous restaurants, and I also worked at a hotel. I worked my way up in the hotel and eventually became the assistant manager. And I just decided that I wanted to do something different and coming to China was a big step, but it was also something that I felt like I needed to do, just to do something completely out there and, something that I'll look back on forever and just really appreciate the experience.
So I understand you were a communication studies major when you were here at Longwood, and now you're teaching English to children. So what was that like, and what is a day in the life for you?
Well, yeah, when I said I wanted to be a teacher, my family and all my friends were like, what? Because I've never worked with kids, and to be honest, I've actually really never liked kids. Not that I don't like them, but I just have never really been around a lot of kids and never gotten attached to them. So for me to be a teacher was a little bit of a stretch, but I've found it to be a really rewarding experience. It's a life-changing experience as far as learning patience and, just learning how to deal with children on a daily basis. It's very rewarding. So a day in the life of Emily. I'm going to be honest, I wake up kind of late because my schedule is very conducive to sleeping in. I start work from Wednesday to Friday. I don't start work until 2 p.m. So, I wake up around 10, sometimes go to the gym. I'll get lunch with some of my workmates and then head into the office. On Wednesdays, we do a Chinese lesson, so that's really cool. The Chinese staff gives the English staff about an hour of Chinese, so that's pretty cool. And then on Thursday, we do like a demo at a public school. So we'll just go into a public school and basically do marketing to get more students to come to our school. On Friday, it's just 2 to 6:30, and then I'd go out with my friends to the bar. And then Saturday and Sunday we work. It's kind of a long day. Not a long day to normal people, but a long day for us. It's from 8:30 to about 6. So
oh my goodness,
my days are pretty awesome. I don't work that much. I use about 6 hours a week to plan my lessons because we have a system that actually plans everything for you. You just kind of have to transfer it into an actual lesson plan and add some games in there. And other than that, I work about 16 teaching hours. So I'm actually in the classroom only about 16 hours. So other than that, we go to movies, we do team building activities with our staff, we go to dinner a lot. In the summer, I went to the beach because it was really close. We go hiking, travel to different cities in China, and I found time to go volunteer at an orphanage, which is really awesome. So it's just a little orphanage up on the mountain. It's really cool. So just get to see the kids. So.
That's awesome. So it's way more than just outside the classroom for you.
Definitely.
Very cool. So what has been kind of the most exciting moment and the scariest moment that you've had with either moving to China or with your job or anything like that?
So the scariest moment was definitely when I got onto the plane. I had to travel to Washington, D.C. to get on the plane. And when I was sitting in the seat and the plane was about to take off, I was thinking to myself, I just left everything that I know that is anything familiar to me, my family, my friends, my pets, everything. And I'm going for a year to a place that I really know nothing about. So that was this definitely the scariest moment, but I look back and I kind of laugh at that now. And my parents visited recently and they were like, we didn't understand what you felt like in that moment until we got on the plane. So it was really interesting to hear their side of that. Other than that, though, I really never fear my safety. It's really, really safe here, so that's great. And that makes my family feel better about me being here as well. My most exciting moment would have to be when I was hiking and we went to the top of this really great mountain. The views were awesome, and it just kind of felt like I was finally at, not at peace, but I was finally really satisfied with my whole experience. Like I could have left at that moment and been, my whole experience would have been fulfilled. So I just think that at that moment, I really enjoyed that. That was an exciting moment for me to be at the top of a mountain in China. Like I conquered this mountain and, this is what I'm doing right now. I don't know. I just thought that was an exciting moment.
That's awesome. And the picture's really cool too. So what is the biggest lesson that you've learned since graduating? So whether that was in China or in the Outer Banks, like you said, but like what's one big piece of advice that you'd have to give?
I liked the job in the Outer Banks, but it wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. And not that every job that you have should be what you want to do for the rest of your life, because this certainly isn't my long-term goal, but not to let the 9-to-5 drag you down. Thinking when I was a senior, I thought that I wanted to sit in a cubicle and have all these like awards and, try and be this person that I thought I wanted to be. But now looking back, I don't want to be confined by the word 9-to-5. Like the world is so big. There's so much more to see than what's in our little bubble. And your worth isn't based on the title that you have at work. So that's basically my big piece of advice, just not being confined by what you think you should be doing, because who's to say what you should be doing. So
very cool. So my last question for you is, what is one or a few things that you miss most about Longwood?
Definitely the things that I miss most about Longwood is one of the things that I miss is the feeling of being just steps away from my best friends. The campus is just beautiful. Farmville felt like so homey. I just loved it. And I do miss the people in my major and my professors in my major. Being a comm major was awesome. And just being in college in general, like you didn't have to worry about too much like real life stuff, I guess. So just my advice to anyone on that is savor every moment of it, because it's a once in a lifetime experience, and I miss it a lot.
Very cool. Thank you so much for talking with me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your experience in China and a safe trip home.
Thank you so much, Paige.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of LancerViews. Keep watching for more advice from alumni, and be sure to connect with Emily on LinkedIn. If you think you can travel and teach abroad like Emily, check out the link to Education First below. Do you have advice to share with your fellow alumni? Let us know. Give us a shout out on Twitter at Longwood Alumni, or tell us in the comments below. This LancerViews has been brought to you by the Office of Alumni and Career Services at Longwood University.